Stephen, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Can you share a time when you changed a long-held belief and what influenced that change?
I think one of the reasons why we have these long-held beliefs is usually there's some connection to identity. So you hold on to the belief quite strongly because you're associating with something you identify with a value or something like that. So I was thinking about this and I thought I could mention some philosophical, political one, but I want to talk about something a little bit more kind of cultural, I guess. I was thinking about how I used to think like clothes and being so fixated on clothes as kind of superficial, like it's about appearance, what about the reality? But then I kind of later came to change that belief when I realized that actually the presentation of, oh, I don't care about clothes through clothes is itself a form of messaging. So I don't think there's any way to get out of it. I think whatever you're choosing to wear is communicating something. So even the person, okay, they communicate by wearing a suit, that communicates something. But if they communicate by wearing just something very informal where it doesn't look like they've given an effort, then that also is sending a message.
Are there any beliefs you feel you will never abandon and why?
Coming back to that identity point, I think there's some that are maybe even closer associated to my identity, so it's going to be difficult to give up. I mean, given that I teach philosophy, think about philosophy a lot, I think it'd be quite difficult for me to give up the belief that philosophy is, broadly speaking, a good thing. And related to that, like some kind of belief in like freedom of discussion, freedom of speech. I guess the reason for that is partly because I kind of hold freedom as key value. And I think that philosophy is a big part of that. So even if there was some strong argument for why philosophy is, I don't know, irrelevant or something, it would still be a kind of philosophical claim. So I feel like it'd be very difficult to abandon that.
What does it mean to disagree well?
I think it's some of the kind of common things would be about being respectful, about being kind, about meeting the person rather than the substance of the argument. So not treating, like they say, love the sinner, treat the sin or something. It's like you want to disassociate the argument from the person. So not feeling like it's a personal attack on you, but also not feeling like you're attacking them as well. It's not so personal. And then I think another really constructive part of good disagreement is finding some common ground. So usually the disagreement hinges upon some aspect where there's a lot of shared common ground. So it may be that you agree on the facts, but you disagree about values, or you agree on values, but you disagree about the facts, or you disagree about the sources of information or something. So just figuring out like where do we actually have some common ground, common suppositions, that's going to be really helpful to build the respect and also to just like locate where specifically the disagreement is. I think a lot of disagreement is just so fuzzy and vague, particularly in the heated debate. You often don't get to untangle it. So I think the untangling is really key and finding something you can agree on is usually the way to start untangling it.
And finally, how can schools and universities best promote good disagreement?
I think promoting good disagreement is partly about the role of the teacher or the role of the facilitator of the discussion. So if we're talking about schools and universities, I think when the teacher has too much authority, that can get in the way of the disagreement. Cicero has this quote, the authority of those who teach is often an impediment to those who desire to learn. And I think it's a good quote because when the teacher is too domineering a presence or that people want to represent what the teacher says or what the teacher believes, then that can get in the way of a free flow discussion of ideas. So minimizing the authority of the teacher and then also, yeah, looking for constructive questioning as well. So not just talking in statements, but finding ways for people to get better asking questions about the other's point of view and getting curious about the other's point of view rather than just simply putting your stakes in the ground on a particular issue.